Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about how Okteto uses Falco to keep our users happy and our platform healthy. My name is Ramiro. I'm one of the co-founders of Okteto. Before Okteto, I used to be an architect at Atlassian and a software engineer at Azure. If you want to reach out to me after the conference, you can find me on Twitter as @arborolesa. So what is Okteto? Okteto is a dev platform powered by Kubernetes. With Okteto, you can go from source to deploy in one click on any language or stack. When a developer creates an account on Okteto, they get a namespace where they can run anything they want. So a few months ago, we woke up and saw this in our dashboard. And I'm going to lie, we were excited. We saw, yes, exponential growth. This is what we want. But then we saw this. What happened was that a group of crypto aficionados found about Okteto and decided to use it to start running a bunch of start mining a bunch of crypto coin. And it's something that GCP was not really happy about it. And they reached out to us and asked us to put it under control. So for the first few days, we're doing it manually. We're logging in, seeing what's going on. But it was not scalable. But we did some research, talked to some of our friends, and ended up finding Falco. And it looked like just the tool we needed. So we went ahead, we installed Falco in our Kubernetes clusters. We configured the default rules, add a few more based on what we've seen so far, and started to send notifications to Slack. We started, and after a few hours, boom, our clusters were down. We logged in, we had to roll everything back and get it under control. Then we went through logs, we had a postmortem, and what happened? Well, what happened was the default rules of Falco were not that well suited for a dev platform. Other things Falco doesn't let you to do or notifies you about are things developers do a lot, like doing an exec on a pod, changing the content of a container. That's something with Okteto is part of that flow. That didn't really work out. Second, we realized that all this rule processing was non-trivial. It was putting a big hit on the CPU consumption of every node. And finally, it's kind of the biggest surprise for us, is that Falco's eBPF module didn't play along that well with Container OS, which is the default OS for Kubernetes clusters on GCP. So we got the team together, we talk about what happened, we look at the logs, we kind of ask around, so we build, we learn what happened, and we make some adjustments. I'm not going to bore you with everything we did to get where we are today. We're going to jump ahead to what we're doing today. So today, we are still running Falco on all of our clusters. What we did is we built a tool to automatically reload Falco whenever a set of rules changes. These rules are stored on a GitHub repo, and Falco will just automatically reload them when they detect changes. This is so that we can be more dynamic as we adjust our rules and not have to go through a full redeploy cycle every time. So what we ended up doing is we are using Falco to monitor when a process connects to a certain list of IPs, when there are certain binaries running, or when a user performs certain, especially cluster-wide actions that tend to be malicious. For IPs in particular, we found there's a lot of prior art on lists of IPs of well-known cryptocurrency networks. So we just took those. We have a cron job that takes those lists, converts them into Falco rules, puts them on this repo, and then Falco just reloads. So this allows us to be very agile when we need to make some changes or we need to ban some IPs. And then we send all of the notifications to Slack, where a human analyzes the data and decided whether to ban or not. And finally, for now, we are using Ubuntu instead of Container OS because we've been seeing much better performance on Falco. And we're quite happy with the result. It's not perfect, but it has allowed us to, one, cut down on those ugly GCP notifications, and we don't have as much malicious use as before. So as I said before, we're building this, we're learning from this, and we're adjusting. And this is something key as you adopt something like Falco. Not a job you do once and you're done. You have to keep iterating, adjusting, learning from what you're doing, and improving over time. So for us, the future looks like this. We do want to move to eBPF module. We have to figure out how to improve the performance because we want to reduce our OS footprint. We want to run with a small OS. We're going to have to build some more smarter rules based on behavior. We are analyzing how our users use Okteto to make sure that we don't block the bad. We block the bad guys, but not the good guys. And we want to invest more in automating the response of malicious actions rather than requiring a human. And this is where we are today. Thanks for listening. And if this is something that you're interested in or want to share some of your own experiences, please reach out to me at the Slack on the conference or on Twitter. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Bye.